All right, and the game just got started, so we're expecting to see a scotch from XQC. Do you have any insights on how you think moistCr1tikal will reply?
I don't actually know. I think Charlie has been maybe looking at the Sicilian defense is my guess, but I don't actually. Okay, plays the E5. Okay, so XUC is going to get his Scotch opening here. I think. Let's watch. Let's see.
All right, and if he does get it, then he will be familiar. So he's probably pretty happy to have seen E5. I think C5 may have put him a bit less in his comfort zone.
Right. I think E5, E4, E5 is what a lot of players like to play. And here we go. We get the Scotch opening. So XUC is very comfortable. I think this is the main opening he's been playing a lot. Okay, now moistCr1tikal plays Bishop C5, which is not a move that I like here. If the system is completely fine at an advanced level, I'm worried about the plans and the process here because when you bring out the bishop like this, it can become very vulnerable right away. So I'm not sure that I like the variational approach here.
No, please don't. And it's too soon. It's too soon, Hikaru. We didn't even reach a climax. You know, when I said it'd be fun to see a checkmate in 4 earlier, I was joking. It wasn't real. We're listening to moistCr1tikal right now.
Daniel Naroditsky is a fucking prophet. He said immediately that XQC will likely go with the Scotch Open, and he did. So I had the counterplay, and he immediately blundered. Well, that's got to be a world record. Thanks for the fat 10 gift subs, Pikachu. My cock is throbbing. Throbbing. What is XQC's chat saying right now?
So no, you guys, I'm allowed to look from the perspective that I want to look from, and I'm gonna look at the perspective of Ludwig. Ludwig, by the way, I'm gonna be very blunt on one thing, because Ludwig lost this game. I am gonna make a prediction that Ludwig is the prohibitive favorite in the losers bracket. As of this moment, so that's what I would say. I would say that Ludwig right now becomes the prohibitive favorite in the bottom bracket. Okay, so 95 D6 is played. Knight C4 is played here by Papaplatte. If Ludwig had watched my lesson with Forreston, he would have realized that Queen F6 is the correct move. It's a very unusual move to attack this knight. But anyway, he plays D6, Knight C4. Papaplatte could have made a check here, and I think after Queen H5, G6, Knight takes pawn. White is already probably much better, if not outright winning. So Knight C4, pawn takes pawn, Knight C3. Ludwig plays D5. He really needed to develop the knight first, cover the square, and then try to push the knights out of the center of the board. And I think this is already probably good for black. Let me turn on the evaluation analysis as well. It's not good per se, but let me run it up a little bit more. It's saying like, okay, yeah, you see the evaluations come all the way down because black is going to get a bunch of pawns. He's going to get a huge connect 4 right in the center. So D5, Knight E3, and now Ludwig plays D4, blundering queen to H5. Very nice move by Papaplatte. It was winning on any move here. Actually, you know what? I want to look the other side. Sorry, this is going to be too gross. Okay.
Technologic Hero tipped $5. You are so right about the parents thing. I am from Argentina and we are 31, 27 and 22 living with mom, and she wouldn't want us to go. Parents get really sad in Latin America when kids leave. And she would receive us until failures with couples or WE.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I can't. I didn't want to laugh at that. I'm sorry. That's so wrong to laugh at that. Sorry. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, I really shouldn't laugh at that. I'm sorry. No. But the reason I'm sad is because like I don't know. Like to me, I feel in American culture, like what you want is it's all about individualism. Kind of like you're supposed to succeed, get out there and do your thing and be successful. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I thought that's how it works, right? Or am I wrong? Isn't that how it works in America? Like individualism, like it's like, get out there, work your ass off, be successful, make something out of your life, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm insane. But that's how I thought it was in the U.S. It's like, just get out there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be political or anything, but yeah. So I mean, maybe it's just different culturally that like in other places, like it's all about family. It's all about kids. I mean, maybe that's why probably like the divorce rates are so much lower everywhere else. Okay, so bishop e7 played here. At this point, Ludwig is already losing because Papaplatte found the right triangle connection, winning the rook. So bishop e7 takes king f8. Now Papaplatte plays bishop c4. Brilliant move here, attacking this knight on g8. Ludwig plays bishop f6. Queen takes knight, king e7. And now knight to d5 was played by Papaplatte. And now Ludwig plays king d6. Knight takes... Oh, wait, no, sorry. He plays queen g6 here, which, by the way, was a very strange move. Because now black can just take the pawn, and black is winning. I don't really know why Ludwig didn't see this. In his previous game against Box, in which he was playing blindfold, he saw a pawn takes rook when a rook came down to g4. So, I mean, to me, it's a little bit weird. I mean, what do I know? But yeah, it's very peculiar that Ludwig didn't take the queen. Instead, he goes bishop e6. Queen takes f6 was played here. Ludwig plays queen takes queen. Papaplatte plays knight takes queen. Ludwig plays bishop takes c4. Papaplatte plays knight takes e4. Ludwig goes king e5. And then Papaplatte plays d3. And at this point, White is doing very well here. He's up a rook and a knight. And he I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. I'm sorry, I can't hold it in because these moves are so sort of out there. Let's put it that way. These moves are so out there from Ludwig that it's really quite hard to hold it in. So okay, so Ludwig plays bishop d5 again, trying to offer the exchange of the knight for the bishop, because since Ludwig is behind by a lot of pieces, he doesn't want to give himself the opportunity to be able to come back and maybe win the game. Knight takes c5 is played. King takes bishop. Knight f6 is played here. King to c5, and now knight takes h7. And at this point, it's really, really bad for black. Black only has a rook and a knight. Very, very hard to play this position. He goes knight c6, and now c3 is played by Ludwig, or by Papaplatte. A very nice move here, trying to trade off some pawns. White has a bunch of pawns that can run up the board here. So check. King to d1 was played. I did not change my microphone, you guys. Hold it in, yeah. D takes c3, b takes c3 is played here. Ludwig plays b5, very strange move. I would have expected him to try to attack with the knight or with the rook, perhaps. Anyway, he goes b5, so now knight f6 here. Ludwig plays rook f8, a very peculiar move. I mean, I guess technically it attacks the knight, but you're really asking White, you're begging him to play knight d7, forking your king and your rook, and then you have one less piece to use here. So rook f8 was a very strange move by Ludwig. And now Papaplatte sees this check. There are a couple checks that are good here. There's bishop 8. Sorry. There's bishop a3 check, which is good here. There's also knight d7 check. You're trying to prepare him. You're trying to force White to make a check. Okay, so bishop e3 is played here. Ludwig goes king d6. Knight e4 is played. Now, Ludwig is way behind here, by the way. He's behind by 1, 2, 3. So he's behind by 3 pawns, a rook, and a bishop. So he's behind by 11 points here. So rook b1 is played, a6 is played. Papaplatte sees knight c5 check, hitting the king and hitting the pawn. So king to d6, knight takes a6. And now Ludwig goes rook g8. Again, it's quite late, but he's trying to at least win one pawn here. Rook takes b5, rook takes g2. Papaplatte plays d4, consolidating in the center, just up a lot of material. Now here Ludwig goes knight a7. This is the first real attacking move that Ludwig played in a very long time in this game. Papaplatte sees it, makes a check, king here. And now Papaplatte plays knight c7, which is kind of a strange move because it hangs the queen. Or not the queen, sorry, it hangs the rook. But your White's still ahead by so much material that it should be over. So now Papaplatte plays h3, knight takes knight, bishop takes, king takes, and at this point, White has gone from being up by 20 points roughly to being up by only 5 pawns. So it's already quite tricky in terms of winning. So h4 is played. Ludwig takes. Now Papaplatte plays h5. And here Ludwig plays a very strange move. He goes rook to f8. What he should have done was taken the pawn on a2. And if white pushes the pawn to make the queen, now you go check. You hit the king and the rook. King has to move, and then you play rook takes rook, and black is winning here. So I was very surprised by Ludwig's decision not to do this. Instead, he played rook f8. The rook becomes very passive, so d5, king b6, d6. And now Papaplatte sees h6 and h7 here. Rook h8 was played. So Papaplatte is up by 1, 2, 3 pawns. He can also bring the king over, and it's completely winning. So king c5 is played. Ludwig goes king d3, or Papaplatte does c4. All pretty standard. No need to go through the moves. Now he takes. Ludwig plays king b5, rook h5. Here I really would have loved to have seen Ludwig play rook takes h7. Rook takes rook and king takes pawn, because with only a king and a rook against a king, I'm not convinced that Papaplatte could have made a checkmate here. So to me, I was very surprised that Ludwig didn't take. Instead, he played king here. Now king to d4 is played. Rook to d8, king c4. Now back with rook h8, rook h6. All technically precise moves by Papaplatte. King d5, trying to run with the king and the pawn. Of course, the rook is stuck with this pawn here. So check, king here, rook h8. And now here, Papaplatte plays king f6. Excellent move to try and bring the king, remove the rook, and then make a queen with your pawn. And white is much, much better. I'm being serious for the YouTube video, I see. I'm being very serious, you guys, very serious. So now Ludwig makes a blunder. He plays king c6, allowing the fossil, because you move the king, and then you attack the king, and then you win the rook. Takes, and king takes h8. And now here, to his credit, Papaplatte plays this very correctly. He just moves the rook, uses the queen, and this was just all very, very impressive. Just king d1, rook h1. Fantastic play here at the end by Papaplatte to win the game. And with it, Papaplatte advances to the champions bracket, along with, I'm pretty sure, Box. So very, very impressive victory by Papaplatte. He moves to 2 out of 2, and his third round game will be against Box. All right. So I'm gonna watch a couple of the clips first, and then I will and then we'll see how this looks. 1 second. I'm sorry, I can't hold it in.
What is he laughing at? What?
I'm sorry, I can't hold it in because these moves are so sort of out there. Let's put it that way. These moves are so out there from Ludwig.
What? You're laughing because I'm dog shit?
It's really quite hard to hold it in. So, okay, so...
Oh, Fine Gold makes a return! Oh, these no-talent players? Is this what it is? Finally, the nice guy Sheen has been worn away. Blunder after blunder, it reveals the true Hikaru. He lol W's at us when he turns off stream.
Oh. No, dude. But Ludwig, by the way, Ludwig is pretty amazing. I like his reactions. To me, it's very hard to believe, though. Honestly, joking aside, that if you can see a pawn capture in a blindfold game, his game against Box, if you can see a pawn capture, I don't know. To me, it seems very, very unlikely that that you would not see a pawn capturing a queen when you aren't blindfolded. So that's just my personal take. But anyway, very tough loss for Ludwig, very tough loss for Ludwig, and anyway, Papaplatte moves on to the champions bracket, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So Ludwig does become the prohibitive favorite in the consolation bracket, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so I think we're going to look at the next game in 1 second. I'm just going to rush him quickly since I drank a bunch of coffee, and I'll be back in 1 second, and we will look at the game between xQc and moistCr1tikal. So just give me 1 second, you guys. All right, you guys. Okay, so on that note, let's move on to the second game, the game between xQc and TurboFist. So we'll pop that one. What is this? Do we have another clip first? What is this? War Passant? I don't know what that means. Okay, let's watch this first.
If I knew any of the chess people, I might play, I guess. The Hikaru guy seemed like a cool dude. Or the Botez person, or the guy that wears the glasses or whatever. They all seem pretty cool. I don't know. If I get the chance to, I probably will. But
wait, by guy with the glasses, did he mean Robert Hess? Is that what he meant by guy with the glasses? Is that what he meant by the guy with the glasses? The guy with the glasses? Okay, let me start this over one more time.
If I knew any of the chess people, I might play, I guess. The Hikaru guy seemed like a cool dude. Or the bow test person, or the guy that wears the glasses or whatever. They all seem pretty cool. I don't know. If I get the chance to, I probably will.
The guy wears the
Feels
glasses.
kind of weird to reach out.
Oh my
Feels a little leechy.
Oh my gosh.
If I knew any of the chess people, I might play, I guess.
What's his accent?
Hikaru guy.
He tries to do a Japanese accent, but it's like, wait. Let me listen to this. Let me do this one more time. Let me see this.
I guess the Hikaru guy.
Yeah, he does decent. It's closer. When I listen in closely, it is closer. It's closer to like a Japanese accent. It's not bad. When I listen closer, it's a pretty good accent. Yeah. So, all right, you guys, let's get back to the chess. 1 second. All right, let's go back to this game between xQc and moistCr1tikal. Look at the Papaplatte clip. Okay, fine. Very quickly, we'll do it.
Und jetzt lässt die Dame da stehen. Der Gegner denkt aber nach. Also irgendwie ist der Gegner auch nicht ganz bei der Sache. Und der kann einfach die Dame schlagen. Hier, ne? Der Bauer kann die Dame schlagen. Hier, H7 schlägt. Und jetzt lässt die Dame da stehen. Der Gegner denkt aber nach. Also irgendwie
That's a good reaction too. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good reaction. I know some Japanese, just not a lot. I didn't grow up with it. That's a great clip. That's a hilarious clip. Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna look at the xQc game. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so the game between xQc and Charlie. So E4 was played. Yeah, I know that's the guy who coached him, right? So E4, E5. I mean, actually, I was gonna say, you guys, you know what's weird is getting back to cultural things. I feel like Germans, there are probably more German people who play chess in the major country outside of like the US and Russia and China. But like, they're more serious chess players in Germany than there probably are in any other country in the world. So because of that, because of how like serious and how structured and regimented the approaches to pretty much everything Germans do, like that guy must have been losing his mind, because like it's so structured, it's like so precise, like that's totally the German method. So it's no wonder that the guy's like losing his mind in the video. Okay, so E4, E5 was played. I think it's Alauke for the tier 1, DVD, DV0 for the prime, Ajo for the prime. I think Raponi for the $5. Thank you to Steel 4444 for the 2 months as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so E4, E5. Knight F3 was played by xQc. Knight F6 here. D4. Germans be like, just be smart. Germans are amazing. They are. Knight D4, Bishop C5 player. Thank you to Slippers for the prime. Now here, xQc plays C3. If I had the opportunity to help him, I would have told him that he should move the bishop out first, but he goes here. moistCr1tikal plays Queen F6, and unfortunately at this point, xQc blunders. He plays Knight takes pawn, blundering Queen takes F2, checkmate. And with that, Turbo Fisto won the game. I'm not gonna laugh at the game, you guys, but. Anyway, yeah, I mean, very short game, unfortunately. xQc should have brought the bishop out. I mean, I wish he had taken a lesson or two, because I totally could have told him to just play bishop e3 and just move. Dude, I'm German and you're wrong. Well, I'm German too. So bishop to e3 would have been a very good move, and then white can just move the bishop or move the knight, and white's doing completely fine. xQc YouTube video. What is xQc YouTube video? Is that something related to chess or not? But yeah, I mean, I guess as far as this game goes, xQc really, he just needed a few more lessons to know how he's supposed to react to this this sort of opening. Oh, you mean the esports video? Never mind. Okay. But yeah, so basically, unfortunately, xQc didn't know the opening, and then he took, and then after Queen F2, it's just checkmate. So very unfortunate loss for xQc. I guess what I would say in general is pretty straightforward. You know, one thing with this event that you don't want to see, you are totally USA through and through. Your 12% German genes has not impacted your personality. I'm sorry that I'm not German enough, you guys. Sorry, apologies. Or Swedish enough, like my boys Nim and Forsen. Anyway, as I was saying, unfortunately, you know, you don't want to see anybody get embarrassed in an event like this, but. You know, I guess it was bound to happen that someone would get cheesed.
Pepe laugh xQc Pepe laugh hold it in Pepe laugh joke of Twitch.
Okay, dude. Thanks for the $5. But what I was gonna say is basically that you don't want to see anybody get embarrassed. But you kind of, it might happen to someone, and I feel really bad that this occurred. But again, all the credit in the world to Charlie. He's put in a lot of hours of work. He's worked very hard on his chess game. So big shout out to him for winning this game. Totally deserved it. I mean, the only thing I would say is that one thing I've tried to do, no matter who I'm helping. Yeah, I laughed when E-Rob got mated, but again, that was not on the same level. That was a game where he had a chance and he missed a checkmate and won. So a little bit different situation in my opinion, but certainly credit to Charlie. But as a coach, I feel like trying to teach people openings that in a way cheeses a little bit. I don't know. It's not my style, so I don't really like it. Whereas I think Charlie could have played something, something more normal, like developing the knights, and probably would have won the game anyway. But it is what it is, so what to do. But nonetheless, not to take any credit away from Charlie, he did play a very good game.